Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some more Golgari. I made a couple of changes based on what I talked about in the last video. I went down on a Preacher, down on a Sentinel of the Nameless City to put Sentinel of the Lost Lore in as a 2 of, and I trimmed out the 2 Galissas that were in the deck that I talked about could be replaced with 2 Shielder to the Apocalypse. And I like that trade. I think it was definitely gives my deck a little bit more upside if we're already playing that late game playing with Nissa. So this is what we're running currently. We have some incredible games. I have a game against Mono Red where I go to 1 and I survive, which is incredible. And then we have some other ones where we just make our opponents rage quit, and that's really cool. So let's just get out there. Let's play some Mythic gameplay and have a good time. And if you enjoy the content, please be sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Let's go game. I want to go first. We have some pretty good lands. We have some kind of play here, so we'll keep a hold of this. Get off the cottage, of course. Play the waste after. So always sometimes feel slow. I guess it depends on our draw. Ring shame. How did that? I swear I pulled up the cottage and it threw the Talk to Numa up. So good thing we didn't make that mistake. Do we play a 3-2? Or do we play the Deep Cavern Bat and just have it kind of take a gander at their hand? I think the bat's best. If it's nothing like super relevant, yeah, sure, dude. If you use a Witch Stalker Frenzy on my bat, will do, Captain. Will do. But Foundry here, double attack. I can't imagine we see a Witch Stalker Frenzy, but will do, Cap. Will do. Yeah, so we do this, and since they don't have Witch Stalker Frenzy anymore, I'll just play a 3-4. And this only targets things 3 or less, and they don't have one currently, so that's sick. Well, is it the Phoenix Chick attack? Is it a double attack? I'm just saying screw it. Could be both. Could not be both. It is. And you rip a Witch Stalker off the top? Ah, Mono Red players, you're so blessed, dude. You're so blessed. Here's my 3-2. Here's my 3-2. So blessed. They just barreled the spell, and they're only out they found. Sure, sure. Well, this is fine and dandy. I'm not upset. You're upset. Do these because we have to do it this way. People are like, why do people hate Mono Red? And it's things like this, you know? The luck in which it takes to play that deck is insane. So, just overall, you know? Not a great plan. We play Liliana and we minus Lily first. Because I think obvious answer is they get rid of the Phoenix Chick, in which then we play the Mosswood Dread Knight so it can trade off with the creature. But not that it's probably going to matter. They're just going to draw a Lightning Strike. Oh, they drew a land. Well, we have to do it this way. A tragic day. We need one more brick draw from them. Actually, sacrifice a non-token creature. It fell off the battlefield. We plus now, so we can have a minus later.
Drop it.
Then we do this. We play that, and we need one more brick from our opponent. Kind of feels like a brick or a disrespectful play. Oh, it was a brick.
Tired of your secrets.
We're cruising, team. We attack. We have to. There's no damage spell, so we eat the Phoenix Chick. Just crack this now. We're up to 5. We're moving, team. We're moving. Come on. Old. Again, nothing there. Too much. You can do it just to do it. Yeah. Oh, face. Okay. Well, we freely get to get that off the battlefield, so that is sick. Yeah, Alright, we'll do this. I am just going to continue with the exact same game plan until our opponent is removed from the battlefield. Nothing in here again, so let's just take the frenzy out. Let's just eat this. Don't worry, we're trying, team. Down to 10, up to 6. Wide. Mono. Did I do planeswalkers as well? I mean, you got my Lily off the battlefield, I suppose. Play this. Bring this up. Oh, they, as a mono red player, they are tilted. They are mad. We're all way up. We lived in one. This is the game. This is the game of games. The breakfast of champions. The breakfast of champions. What better way to start it out than going to one against red? Winning. Looks like we have to maul this one. No green mana. A handful. It's like we keep just and hope these draw us out of it, and we'll throw Nissa back. The cottage down immediately. Some of the harder hands I've had. Blue-white going to be quite the contest. I just play this down as a 3-2. I get a little bit complicated. Sometimes against blue-white I like to draw in these spots. But in this one spot specifically, I think actually getting it down and being a reoccurring threat early is nice. I lied. It all sucks. Everything's awful. Let's attack first. See if we get a double block here. It does have trample, so regardless. Doesn't really care as much. Now we don't play Lily. We just play land. Play a second one, losing both to a temporary lockdown maybe, but then that takes their tokens out of the way. Now they're pressured a little bit early. Not sure if this is the way to approach this, because normally these don't end up getting there anyway. Field of Ruin. You play basics, but I'd prefer that you don't do that. This is probably going to plus for obvious reasons. Oh, hitting a land is huge there. But regardless, let's make them think that they have a decision here. And block a little bit. Let's attack here. I honestly probably should just go face. We get the double block that we want. Still hits that for 1, I guess. Oswald dies. We'll cycle so we can play it again later. And we'll sacrifice Planeswalker. Oh no, look what I drew. I know, devastating draw. But we have 3 cards, so the card that they play doesn't have as much value as they probably like. We'll move to combat. We'll attack. Emperor is possible, of course, but I think they're a little bit more worried about what's coming later. Sunfall's also possible. Let's play around most things here, and let's just slam a Shieldred. Honestly, they can Sunfall if they'd like. I would assume, yeah, I would assume Memory to lose is kind of the play here. And Shieldred will get enough value on its own, potentially with 1 draw, maybe upkeep they remove it. Then I have a backup Shieldred to play. We just kind of hope their answers are thin. And then we try to slam a Lily plus play the Moxwood Dread Knight after. Who knows? Who's to know? Lily a lot of times is better when you have significantly less cards in your opponent, because obviously plussing becomes a lot more relevant because you're not affecting your hand as much. It's either better when you have a lot more cards in your opponent and it's making it hard, or it's better when you don't have cards in your hand and it's only really, the plus is only really affecting your opponent in general. With us on 1 draw a turn, we can pretty much cast whatever we'd like. The less this Faithful Mending gain 2, lose 4. I mean, that's pretty cool. This is why people said put Shieldred back in the deck, Brick, and I think I finally get it. We don't need Glissa. Maybe we do. I have no idea. This hand is a little bit questionable at best, I think. mean, we have the lands. We have a bat that might be able to stave off some stuff. The only problem is I don't think this is necessarily going to be that good. Its command is a little bit like, all right, maybe. I'm going to maul. Get pretty much the same hand, but we at least have a tortoise. I think we just have to kind of draw a land to play with it. I like playing tortoise more as progression than waiting for 2 cards that 1 may be too slow or 2 not relevant. Stallion not going to be super important here. They play it. Yeah. I mean, it is, but it isn't at the same time. I could play bat, and I think I need to just in case there's like an Adeline fishing around in there. I mean, Vanguard is equally as important here. We have to wave a Brutal Cathar pretty much. Double attack, training, no blocks here. Can't really afford to do so. I mean, obviously going to flash in that. We'll play land, and we'll play our 3-2. We obviously could Deep Cavern Bat, but if this last card just also happens to be a land, then I don't feel necessarily that great. But we'll attack the bat to try to gain a little bit of the life back. We don't plan on blocking anytime soon. So, Mosswood will trade off the Hopeful Initiate, if allowed. Enforcement. Please don't be a knight. Oh, it's a knight, isn't it? Just the perfect reload card off the top. So tough. That's so tough. Oh, and this is why this matchup's so hard to win. Just 2 more creatures that provide incredible value. Gets to play them both. Holy. X command plus lands if I even survive, which I probably won't. I don't even know what I can draw here. X command, but now I just like don't have a land. I mean, we just die over the course of 2 turns, I guess. Go first. This hand looks much more playable than our previous one. Hopefully we can avoid getting ran over here. We'll play a swamp. Maybe have cut down, do some nonsense. If it's just a 1-drop from an aggro deck, maybe we won't do anything depending which aggro deck it is. Counters, so cut downs, probably going to find less value than you think it normally would. We just play swamp and draw a card here. I kind of like that. But I also like getting the cottage down. But let's play swamp and cycle and draw a card. Looks like we're going to need it. And then I'll probably play land, have Sentinel come in and kind of body block if enters battlefield 2/1 counter on it. Creature with 1/1 counter on it dies. Put a 1/1 counter on a cash. Move 1/1 counter on a target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Very important, the sorcery part there. So that means combat tricks are taken off. Don't have to worry about it too much. Our 3/4 should be relevant enough in this match. Definitely be activating this map and getting in, hopefully. They play Sentinel. Maybe we'll be activating this map and getting in. Hunter moves on. Well, kind of hope this doesn't hit a land. We want our thing to get bigger. Sentinel's obviously a really good draw here. Play this. I think we have to exile that out of the way and just be the aggressive aggro deck at this present moment. Oh boy, especially with a second Sentinel. They play another Sentinel. Now they have the potential chance to outpace ours. And give it indestructible, I suppose. Just indestructible, right? Yeah. I say just indestructible as though that's not a problem. You rip a land. Still want to play cottage, I think. What do we want to do here? I think we just play extra Sentinel. We'll attack regardless, I think. Well, if we attack, they can actually trade it off. Let's just hold. Let us just hold. Okay, map. Sure. That's not good. Means their extra map tokens will automatically be counters. I see them leaving on top. We have exactly 7 here. Cash has no counters. There's an attack. We'll double block. Kind of forcing the issue. Opening up the path for us to potentially remove this on a later turn. It only killed one of our things, so it's like not necessarily too bad, I think. Big creature. Regardless. We take a look first. Not opposed to that. Set in our hand. Add it up here. Take a look, see what they got. Just 2 lands. That's tough. That is tough. I mean, no attacks here, but at least we can block for free with the back, so we're not worried about anything. Land Warden, we knew what their draw was. Surprised to see him not throw the Warden away on the last kind of like map token, especially if their hand was lands. I mean, we already said it before. This seems like a pretty obvious block here. Why did audio get so weird? And not like that. They look, they scry, they keep it on top, which means it's obviously a card of value. A Sentinel. Graveyard can go. Sentinel is not really doing a ton for us here. Oh man. What to do, what to do. Do this. Not revealing the last card. Select exile and target card. We'll grab one of these and we'll target their graveyard to exile. Might be relevant later. Who knows? I will cycle again to draw a card. Nissa's good. Nissa is good here. So let's play Mosswood. Hold up the fort. Then we just pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Nissa will actually come in at full power and we'll start making 8/8s. Second Sentinel, agreeable. Will we see a Warden activation? Sure. You scry, leave it to the top, so it must be any other card with some action. Also, Dread Knight can block for free pretty much, but 7? 5. I mean, if there's a free way to get their big creature off the board, I think we take it, right? Like on one hand, it seems kind of like goofy to block like this, but we trade their bigger creature for our kind of subpar creature. This is already tapped, so a counter's not going anywhere. Warden, obviously, well, I guess they know it's on top, so it will get a counter. Surprised to see him not attack with it then. You know, like, not activate that map and attack. Play this full value. Cause some problems.
Into the flesh of the multiverse. Our strength multiplies.
We'll hold these back for the Sentinel. You can scry again to make their thing as big as possible. I knew that card was on top, but if they get to put a counter on Warden, taking a gamble here. Miss. We'll take another gamble. Miss again. You can argue these are obviously like hits. You can argue they're also misses to an extent. Playing, sure. We really have to find removal for this Warden over anything else.
You will rot in the ground.
There that goes. No removal thus far. Take a little gander. See. Obviously, I would love to have played Shieldred, but I think just playing it doesn't really serve a lot of purpose to gain a little bit of life back in comparison. Let us... They have no counter guaranteed, and they would have to attack. So I think we plus here, making it a little bit harder. And if they tap out, obviously, then we're threatening a lot of nonsense. Plus, we're threatening a lot of nonsense regardless. They can block and put a counter on the Warden to ensure Nissa dies. If they think about it, and then I'll attack with this. If they want to remove it, allow me to draw another spell, then sure. They block. This goes. Yes. Black and a forest here. Cycle again. Maybe we find a removal spell. Tortoise actually isn't that bad, right? Because Tortoise, like, kind of sneakily gives us lethal in a way. Because these will just be 3 to activate, and we have the mana regardless. So let's actually play Tortoise here. As long as we don't die. They just have a land in hand and 1 draw to get there. I guess they have, like, kind of 2 creatures to attack. I miss on a land. Sick. And is Nissa worth removing at this point? They play land, last card's hitting, oars off, double counters. Sure. Now it'll get double as well. 4 and 9 for 15 exactly if they swing it face. That's face. That's there. Sure. Both have vigilance. Think I do same regard here. I'll take the trade if they're truly willing to give it to me. Another situation where they don't get my Nissa off the board. And they have the manland in the back to play potentially as well. Goes bigger. On the top, I got a little bit bigger. See it? At the end of the day, 1 removal spell is all we need, but Seiju seems to be a little bit tough. I mean, at least it's a spell. Alright, so they block an 8/8, they block a 5/5. We get 5 through plus an additional 6 only for 11. Not quite enough. We can obviously Beseiju this Ozolith so things can stop growing so big and then just kind of flood the board, I suppose. Or we can blow up both of these and then they're just stuck with their creatures in play. One has trample, which is obviously good. I think we're going to lose this anyway, and making it 2/2 is probably not worth it. Let's minus here. Let's get this Ozolith off the board.
Let this world down. I've delayed you long enough.
Really have enough mana to do kind of whatever they want. We'll do this in the opposite order where we play Shieldred first, and then Beseiju will only be 1 mana. Play out one of these. Pretty much setting up for the brawler here. We'll do land. Does this 1 counter make a difference with how much is on the board? Probably not. I think I actually want to save for their man land and blow it up if possible. Maybe. This puts a counter on something too. Other creatures you control get a 1/1. Yeah. A little tough. We just kind of hold the line. We're threatening kind of the same thing as we were last turn. Beast Caller comes in. Beast Caller goes on the stack. We remove the cash. I prefer them draw Beast Caller over something more valuable. I don't think Beast Caller is necessarily the best draw of all time. That goes away. They'll get a forest. Now they won't be able to put a counter on Beast Caller and make everything grow significantly more. We have an attack. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Has vigilance. Why would you not? Plus, it threatens a ton. But other land draw, absolutely brutal. Let's play land here. They're at 12. They have 3 blocks, so it'd be 1, 2, and 3. Maybe. I guess 1, 2, and 3. Let's assume it's that way. So we have 6. We have 5 for 11. That should be enough. One thing we definitely want to do here is tap to mana ourselves, because Arena likes to be a little bit goofy sometimes and tap our manland in order to bring up a thing so we don't take damage off of this. But preferably not to take damage regardless. Bring these up. We do have the manland to block as well, but I mean, we are kind of forced to. We'll just die to the creature in the air. Ozolith, I suppose. Sentinel, I suppose. I guess in theory it's one of the reasons to besiege the manland. Not something I really thought about, but block, 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 and block. We have exactly 12 coming in. Creatures unblocked, so I don't think we end up getting punished regardless. I think the blocks are pretty clear overall. They're just trying to decide how to block with their big creatures. Maybe they're not counting mass for blockers, and I'm not blocking. Maybe they'll figure out the math. Oh, letting 5 come through. I mean, that's definitely lethal. The way you really cut it, it's all going to be lethal. It makes it super lethal. Even if it didn't get there, now a shielded trigger will go off and do an extra -2. Feels like it has to be a maul. My hands have looked so bad today. I've not been a fan. I think I'm gonna keep, and I'm gonna itch the Foundry. Will we just draw some lands? So Gix is good, and we play a match where Gix is relevant. But obviously that matters too. Land bat, Golgari. I have to play the mirror. I don't want to do that. You only have cut down. 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 Anybody else do that? Just like bleed and beg. Fry maybe. They pass. I think this is wait until I invest my map token. So I'll give them what they want. Go for the throat. Perfectly fine with me. Sure. Main thing that we have in regards to they don't so far is we do have a little bit better mana. That is now not true. Sure. We're gonna see the same thing just flipped. Actually, we need to keep go for the throat. No, we don't. I wanted to keep go for the throat because obviously it deals with the shielded where one does not. However, on the contraire, we want this to deal with their Mosswood Dread Knight. And we're going to take their shielded anyway. Dude, you still play Glissa? No. X is a little worse, I think. Unsure here. Both of these are good. I think Glissa has a better combat chance when we play this Mosswood Dread Knight and it can actually trade off with the Gix. The hit lands, the main thing we want is for them not to find a shielded at any point. There's that. There's a Gix. Thing that they struggle to deal with the most, let's just make it a reality. Plus here. We'll pass. We'll definitely block to keep this Nissa alive. We have to. Definitely be blocking to keep it alive. No, dude. You can't play Golgari and leave. That's not in the game plan. I'm mad. I'm upset. Plus, they're not allowed to do this. Team, this is illegal. This is mutiny, and I'm not having fun anymore. I'm upset. Alright, well, we'll wait for them to time out again. Yep. I mean, Move this. Play this. This. Return his back. Exit out of their graveyard. Attack. They don't get any priority. They give up their entire turn. And we'll pass. We'll call it a day. Now we'll wait for them to time out again. And we'll probably, I don't know if we'll hop in the next game or what. I have no idea. Okay, chat. Looks like they officially gave up. Doing this first. Sure. Not like a great hand, but it's also not a horrible hand. Okay. It's like a tough draw for sure. It's Simic, blue black. So you can bat me. Bat's gonna take bat. That's about the thing that makes sense here. Take Gix command. I feel like we're really far away from that. I'm just gonna bat them back to slow them down if they don't take my bat now. The main issue is gonna be is the flying aspect of what they have, in which my cards won't do enough. I mean, drawing another bat's great. I don't know why I didn't play the forest, but we get to look. They have a make disappear. They have a path to peril. You're playing path to peril, and the first thing you played was 2 creatures. What are you doing? I mean, realistically, we have to take the go for the throat. If they want to path to peril me, great. I don't really care. What a draw. You're nuts. You're absolutely nuts. Block here. We're just slowly trying to get this Gix command. At some point, we'll want to take their make disappear if we can. Virtue's a good draw. Maybe not the best draw, but is a good draw regardless. We Virtue this Gix out of the way. Of course, we have another bat, but next turn we can play it. Maybe they'll make disappear it regardless. I can't believe they have Path to Peril on their deck. Seems like insane to me, but I'm not the pilot of their deck. They're the pilot of their deck. I don't have make disappear held up. Sure, let's bat him. Huh? Play this 3-2. Temporary 3-2. The land. Sure. I think this spear will be about as annoying as it can be. You're on a land. Already played land for turn. I don't explore and like Gix off the top. Sure. That hit. Call it a day. Alright, Shieldred's Edict, which is a fantastic draw. We do this. You remove that creature first and then force them to counter this. We do the opposite. No idea. We could obviously Gix command as well. I mean, that's obviously getting countered, which doesn't feel necessarily that great. Maybe they'll kick. Maybe they'll kick to make sure this doesn't stick. Not opposed to block the Mosswood Dread Knight. How we do this? So next turn, they play land, they play Gix. We play Gix, and it doesn't really matter. They found land, I guess. Because Underground River is not a Dark Slick Shore, and that comes in untapped. Boo. Sure. It. I think we'll end up blocking here. Regardless. Another go for the throat off the top is kind of brutal. Kind of need to find removal when we find land instead. Cycle. Sure. Land. Put his back out. This. Target here. I can go for the throw on top for me is good. Just can't remove the schooner, but I'll just fire it off. Let me see. One more draw here. We're like just so close to outgrinding this match. Siren's actually a good card for them to leave on top. Like for us, I think it's generally not maybe the best. But it still activates a schooner because the way Gix is going to work throughout the game. Still holding up there, make this pier. Obviously, disregard. Definitely pop this here. Want me to pay 4, I will. Don't make me do it. I go this. Draw. Obviously, we slam it. And now we have block for a schooner again. Not necessarily a big deal. Another land, then we could play Nissa. Maybe. Obviously, we're going to barrel a Gix command first. Sure. Sure. Children on top, that's tough. Block. You know we know the path here. The path of least resistance. Recycle. We have a children of our own. You think that'll make them counter it? Hey, back down. Down. Now they can make a Mirix token and crew it up and play Shieldred. Play Shieldred, I'm genuinely thrilled, but that's also saying that they don't have another land in hand. They have another land in hand and then they jam a Shieldred crew. They didn't make a Mirix token? Oh. Sussy. You have another land? No. Shieldred's coming down. 1 blue mana. The crew. This. Alright, last time I get to block like this. Second schooner. Oh, they throw it back. Block. Or what I feel like is obvious reasons. Play this. We do our Gix command. Do that. I get to do the Mirix next turn too, right? Destroys creature power 2 less. Burn, I guess. A bat and a bat. Then we can have bat to block. Also kind of hinder their hand. Yeah, so we bring back double bats, I think. We play bat. They only have an island available. Take a look. Tidebinder. Tidebinder also good. This all sucks. But I would assume their turn's going to be make a Mirix and still attack me. I'm going to take their make disappear because it's obviously going to be a little bit cheaper here. Find another land. Oh my. Will you stop it with that? Half the barrel comes up. Okay. I would like to. What I like to do. How do we weasel out of this? I would like to almost play this bat. Let's play this bat. Let's play a bat. It's a bat. Sure. One solution answered. Is now just low to the ground creature. That seems super sick. If that's the case, I will now play my Shieldred. On one hand, we obviously could have slammed the Nissa and answered that, but that would just be too easy. Don't worry. We now have Shieldred. Shieldred, the Gathering card. If you rip the tie binder off the top, I will cry. But assume Mirix is obviously going to eventually be active here. What was your draw, opponent? We finally grind out of this game. Did we finally find a way through the instant speed shenanigans? Finally, we see this play come up. Oh, nothing. Okay. That's fine with me. We'll gain a little life here. And now, for the absolute devastating play, the additional bat. And yes, they feel like we've batted them a ton, but you got to remember we did get 2 of them back from Gig's command. Now we'll bat again. They do anything here, like make the spear, kick it. All part of the plan, baby. All part of the plan. Absolutely decline. None of this matters comparatively to how good this does. Now we kick out this Nissa. They have no mana. We -1 here. Get this schooner off the battlefield. Just not relevant here. That is now gone. We could attack their life total, but we just don't care. We'll just take a little bit of pressure off. Triggers like a tie binder or a shieldred, but it's still a 4/5. Loses death touch and all other shenanigans, but we wiggle our way out like the slimy little Golgari worm we are, and we move on. You can see we named it Golgari time 2. We did some changes. We moved some stuff around, and I've weirdly liked it more. We actually went down on 1 Sentinel. I'm not too sold on that. But we went down 1 Preacher as well to fit our 2 Sentinel Lost Lores back in to make sure we can cycle these Virtues when we need to, these Mosswood Dread Knights if we need to. But that is not the main reason we brought this Sentinel back in. Overall, it is the put target card you do not own from the Adventure Zone on the bottom of your library. So this gets other opponents' Virtues, other people's Mosswoods in the mirror, so we can get them back and out of the way so we don't have to deal with them anymore. And especially works really well with the white Virtue that is the make the 2/2, and then for 5 mana you start buffing their whole team, as sometimes we kind of fail to deal with that card very well, and it's every single threat becomes a problem and has to kind of be answered. However, it felt really nice today, and we saw it a couple of times in a couple of matchups where it could truly shine. Outside of that, we got the Shieldreds back in. As you notice, I talked about it in the last time I played Golgari. The Glistas are gone. I weirdly didn't miss them. I didn't miss them at all, actually. And that is an awkward thing to say because I love that card. I do miss Graveyard Trespasser, but I just miss Graveyard Trespasser. It's not necessarily like I think it's super good and needs to be played. I just miss playing it overall. But here's the list I'm currently playing. Going well. I feel like most games have been winnable, even when I've lost. Outside of one, I was playing against, like, I cut it. I lost to Mono Blue, I guess, but I just conceded because they were time abusing, which is sick. I love that. If you don't know what that is, it's like waiting until the clock comes up and then passing their priority or casting their spell whenever they had priority, and they only play instant speed spells. So pretty much every turn was just hit a clock, play it, and I was just like, I don't have time for this. I have to concede and move on. So there was that. Also, editing that takes forever. But outside of that, this is the deck list. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.